Nurse practitioner is the best job in the United States in 2024. And I absolutely love being a nurse practitioner, and going to a nurse practitioner program was the best decision in my life. But being a nurse practitioner is not for everyone. There are 6 things you must consider before you apply for nurse practitioner program and pursue your nurse practitioner career. So you will make sure that this is the pathway we want to take. Let's dive in. Aloha! I'm Miki Miura, a family nurse practitioner in Hawaii. I've been a nurse practitioner for 10 years, and I absolutely love being a nurse practitioner and the lifestyle that Korea has given me. My passion is mentoring nurse practitioner students and new grad nurse practitioners to build amazing careers so that they can have the freedom of choice on what they want to do and how they want to live. All right, let's get into it. In this episode, we're gonna talk about 6 things you must consider before you apply for nurse practitioner programs and pursue your nurse practitioner career. First thing you should consider is responsibility. When you become a nurse practitioner, you have to make decisions all day, from making diagnosis and also deciding on treatment plans, including medications, like which antibiotic or which medication are you going to choose, what dosage, how many times a day, and how long should the patient be on the medication. Also, you have to decide whether the patient should come back for follow-up, and if so, how soon. And then also you have to make decision of whether you should keep the patient in outpatient setting or you should send patient to the ER because the patient's condition is unstable. There are so many decisions that you have to make as a nurse practitioner which weren't relevant when you were a nurse, from diagnosing, treatment plans, and that comes with responsibility. And having responsibility doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing. I enjoy taking some responsibility, and that's why I chose this career, and I love what I do. But some people may not enjoy having more responsibilities. You want to make sure that you can enjoy your work on regular basis. If taking more responsibility is rather stressful for you and decrease your satisfaction in life, maybe this career is not for you. Another thing to consider is you might get after-hour calls. It depends on your contract, it depends on your job positions, but especially if you work in primary care setting, you might get calls after hours from your patients or emergency rooms. And in some setting, you might not even get paid for the after-hour calls. Second thing to consider is a nurse practitioner position comes with leadership. You need to become a leader for the healthcare team, even if you work with physicians. In many settings, you work with supporting staff, including medical assistants, possibly nurse aide, registered nurse, and receptionist, and so many other healthcare professionals. As a healthcare provider, you often have to take leadership, which oftentimes comes with decision making and also delegating. So you want to ask yourself, do I want to be a leader? Is that something that I want to do? And does that bring joy to me? I don't know if you watch the Netflix series, but KonMari or Marie Kondo, who is also from Japan, who is a cleaning organizing expert, often say you should determine whether you keep the stuff or throw it away, depend on if that brings a sparkle in your life. And I think that's very important when you're making a decision on your career. So ask yourself, is being a leader brings a joy and sparkle in your life? Third thing is being a nurse practitioner comes with more risk for malpractice lawsuits. As I said before, becoming a nurse practitioner comes with more responsibilities than being a nurse in terms of making diagnoses and deciding on treatment plans. So you feel a lot of pressure on not making mistakes because your mistake might lead to life and death situation for your patients. I'm not trying to discourage you to pursue your dream, and if this is something that you want to do and bring joy to your life, you should go for it. And that was my case, and I love what I do. But if taking more responsibility, taking risk for malpractice, and taking leadership won't bring joy and rather become more stress for you, then you might want to think about your career decision again. I hope you are enjoying this episode. Before we go back, I want to quickly mention that I'm giving a gift to you for listening to this episode. I'm giving a free PDF nurse practitioner job interview prep checklist. This checklist is full of questions that you're likely to be asked during job interviews as a nurse practitioner and some tips on how to prepare for them. With this downloadable PDF, you can prepare for interviews well so you feel confident and stand out from other candidates to get the job that you really want. To get this free PDF nurse practitioner job interview prep checklist, you can go to usa.jnpproject.com/interview. Again, usa.jnpproject.com/interview. Now, let's get back to the episode. Fourth thing is pay. Some people believe that becoming a nurse practitioner guarantees that you're gonna make more money than being a nurse, and wanting to make more money is not a bad thing. That's very important to have financial stability so you can have a good life, you can support your family and support charity that you really believe in. But you also have to know that becoming a nurse practitioner doesn't necessarily guarantee that you will have a better income, because in some states, including Hawaii where I live, nurses actually make more money than nurse practitioners in some cases. And one of the reasons is because a lot of nurses at hospital belong to a union, so they can negotiate their wages and job conditions better than fighting with your employer individually. Also, in many cases, including my case, there is no overtime or holiday pay because many nurse practitioners get paid on salary basis. But this is also depend on where you're gonna work and what kind of contract you have. So if you are a registered nurse working at a big hospital and also you work on holidays and at night, you might get paid better than nurse practitioners. And a lot of times for nurse practitioners, productivity really determines your pay. Many cases, including my case, a bonus depends on how many patients, what kind of visits that you had, how many procedures you performed. So if you're considering becoming a nurse practitioner because you want to have more financial stability, you might want to think about whether it actually brings more income for you by becoming a nurse practitioner. Fifth thing to consider is stress and pressure of being a nurse practitioner. Of course, being a registered nurse also comes with a lot of stress and pressure, but from my personal experience of being a nurse before becoming a nurse practitioner, I feel a different kinds of pressure as a nurse practitioner. For example, many nurse practitioners feel a lot of pressure because they are evaluated based on their productivity. Again, that means that how many patients you see a day, how many procedures you performed, and then also patient satisfaction. And how you evaluate based on patient satisfaction is more severe compared to when you're a nurse, because patients are there to see you, a provider. If you're working as a nurse, oftentimes you are evaluated as a part of the team, versus if you're a nurse practitioner, you are evaluated directly as an individual provider. So you feel a lot of pressure to perform well and satisfy your patients. Sixth thing to consider is tuition and time to complete nurse practitioner program. Nurse practitioner programs are not cheap. And although there are some financial assistance like loan repayment program, it also takes time. Nurse practitioner programs usually take 2 to 3 years to complete, depending on if you're gonna go to MSN program or GNP program. You want to consider, is the investment of your time and money worth for you? Last thing you want to have is you pour your money and time into nurse practitioner programs and become a nurse practitioner and realize that this is not for you. Again, I'm not to discourage if you want to become a nurse practitioner and you're sure that this is a good investment for you, you should absolutely go for it. I love being a nurse practitioner and my nurse practitioner career brings me joy, and I believe that this is such a wonderful profession. But you want to make sure that this profession suits your career goal and life goal. My recommendation to determine if this is for you or not is to shadow a nurse practitioner for half a day or even a full day. So you can determine the tasks that nurse practitioners have to go through all day is something that you want to commit to. And remember, ultimately, your satisfaction for life and happiness matters the most. We spend so many hours for work, so you want to make sure that you satisfy with what you do. I hope this video was helpful for you. If you like this video, please give me thumbs up and leave a comment of what you think about this video. Also, please subscribe to my channel so you will get notification when a new episode is released. Alright, I'll see you in the next episode. Aloha.